I think like as far as like what I am or like my artistry and stuff like that, how I look at it, it's very much like as like a creative, like I said, just because like I've been doing the music, I've been doing like the modeling, the fashion and shit like that, and it's been fun. I've meeting people with like interesting places like in the in between also, you feel me? So like seeing those people and where they are and like learning from them and shit like that, it's like I can kind of, in this day and age, you can kind of like call yourself whatever you want to call, right? But like to prematurely identify yourself might be, you know what I'm saying, not what you want to do.
Yeah. It's a balance.
Yeah.
It's a balance for sure. And I imagine it can be difficult because people are very judgmental. And so if you say like, yeah, I'm a rapper, like people are like, so you're a rapper.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, well, no, so you're a rapper.
Yeah.
Like
there it is
so,
now.
So you're a rapper.
Exactly.
Like, and then you're like, no, and then you're like glued to that.
Yeah.
Defining leadership, I think, is really all about kind of what you're speaking on, like not feeling glued to one box and to one label. How do you grapple with that? Like just, you know, maybe your friends are an artist and they're a rapper and so, you know, they call themselves this, but like that's your boy, so you're always with them. Like,
I think I've just always been used to change, first of all, right? I think change is a very important like understanding that you need, you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta know what change is, like what it could be for you, you know what I'm saying? Maybe what it has already been for you along like your journey and shit like that. Yeah. And then like once you understand that, you kind of understand like how who you are works for other people, you feel me? And you can then you understand like who can be around me and shit like that, like who do I not mind like, you know, giving this information to, like sharing ideas with. I think the idea is like the most important stuff we got right now, you feel me? Is what I'm realizing. Because I've had ideas for like 25 years now. So getting to a point where like your ideas are manifested and like making sense is cool, especially with people around you.
Yeah. I mean, so what I really appreciated about like when I first like started to become aware of you, if you will, was I saw that, you know, you were into like, I guess modeling or like taking photos, but it seemed like there was more to you, just like there is to everyone. And I kind of relate to this idea of feeling really put into a box. I feel like, you know, once you start taking photos, people are like, oh, so you're a model. Like, that's who you are. And they don't take you seriously. Do you feel like modeling has helped you or has it made it a little harder for you to branch out?
Honestly, so far so good. I'm not gonna lie.
That's
I think
good.
so. Like, what it is with the modeling thing, right? I think I was really looking for a way to like be able to just like step into like this creative space. You feel me? Yeah. And so
it's a good stepping stone.
Yeah. Like it kind of started in like college, right? Like I did the college thing for a little bit and that was cool. You feel me? And I was around a very large new group of people. You know what I'm saying? And like I've moved around a lot in my life, and I think along me moving around and stuff like that, I don't think I paid attention to the creativity around me and other people, I think. You know what I'm saying? Like I definitely
you didn't have time.
Yeah, like I definitely was picking up culture from like, you know, music and stuff like that, everything around me. That kept me grounded, you know what I'm saying? But as far as like connecting with other people and like, you know, flourishing some new art or stuff like that, like that wasn't happening. So like when I got into a place like a college, you know, atmosphere and like was able to do that, I was like, all right, bet, let's do it. So, and then that kind of just got the ball rolling. Then music came back into my life because it's always been around. Yeah. And then it was like, I just never thought I was gonna be making music, to be honest. And then
that's beautiful.
Yeah. Once I got to a point where I was like, I can, we just kind of ran with it.
Yeah. And I think that's like gatekeeping at its finest, because it can really make you feel like you're not allowed to change your mind. Like the whole concept of college too can make you feel like, oh, if I, you know, went in with this dream, I have to leave with that dream.
Yeah. Oh, I changed my mind a lot. Probably not the best thing, but I like to, I don't know, man. There's just so much to do in the world, yo. Change, exactly. Like there's just so much that you can do and like to be done. So it's like, granted, we want to execute, right? I think execution is important, right? So like,
of course,
you know, you can't just pick up everything and just like, I'm gonna change the world, right? But like, you know, understanding like maybe I can try different things and like maybe, you know, put them all together and make this new thing. You feel me?
Right.
Because like it's hard to do something new. Like everything's kind of been done before, right? But I don't know if everything's been mixed the same way though. You know what I'm saying? Like
everyone has their own spice. Like everyone has something about them that can't be, you know, done again. And I think it's easy in the artist world to feel like, you know, you don't have space to change. Like you don't have space to grow.
Yeah, I think that's just because it's moving so fast now though.
Yeah.
I think like everything is just so instantaneous, you know what I'm saying? Like the internet is here all the time, you know what I'm saying? So, and we know this at this point already, but you know, we're working around it.
Do you feel like the internet makes it difficult for, you know, artists?
I mean, there's a level of difficulty, but I think at the end of the day, the internet is working in our favor. I think maybe it's not the artist that it's affecting, you know what I'm saying? And then like, whoever it is affecting the artist, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, at the end of the day, like art is for either you or the people, right? I hope, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's whatever you want to do with it, but you know what I'm saying? Your art is either, for me, the way I look at it, my art is either for me or like the people, right?
Yeah.
So if there's a disconnect somewhere, if like what I'm trying to, you know, get it to the people, then that's a problem to me, you know what I'm saying? That's the only way I see like the internet being a problem, but other than that, I think it's a great tool. Y'all learn shit every day.
Yeah. I also want to touch back quickly on what you said about change and like how that's an important word. Could you just expand upon that a lot? Because I do feel like you're very fluid, like you're able to adapt really quickly.
Word, thank you. Yeah, I mean, I've had a lot of change in my life.
Yeah.
It's continuing, which is, you know, at this point I got used to it, but like,
yeah.
I've had a lot of environmental changes, you know what I'm saying? Like I used to live in Atlanta for a while. And so like having that experience living down south and then coming back up here.
That's crazy. Like just Atlanta to Boston, such a different culture.
Yeah.
Like,
and I thank God because like I was there during a time where like the culture there was it. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know, man. Like I really watched like whatever trap, you know what I'm saying, people is now. Like I watched it flourish and stuff like that. Not to say that's my sound necessarily, but like, you know what I'm saying, we're affected by all sounds. So I think like me being so close to it at that time and then coming back here and then watching it follow me afterwards was mad weird, yo. I was like, damn, this is, but I fucked with it because like now I can listen to like Gucci up here and people's like, fuck it. You know what I mean? But change, I think mental change has been big for me too, you know what I'm saying? Like understanding who I am and shit like that and like growing, like just age, you feel me?
Yeah.
Understanding like stillness and shit like that. Yeah. A bunch of different shit.
Yeah, so. Stillness, being, learning how to just pause. Yeah. Like I think you can definitely tell who's able to sit with themselves and who isn't just by their energy and like how they move in a space. And like I said, like I thought it was really cool how you were able to like go from like taking pictures to then, okay, I'm doing something completely different. Yeah. I also think there's a lot of vulnerability in modeling that people don't really understand. Like it's a very intimate process.
For sure. I think that part kind of drew me closer to it like over time. You know what I'm saying? Because there's stuff that like, you know, I may not necessarily be able to communicate through like my words and stuff like that. Ironically enough, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, there's some things are just better left unsaid, but like you need to see it. You know what I'm saying? So.
Facts. Yeah.
So I had fun with that part.
Yeah, that's a good way to kind of describe it, because it's like I want to say it, but I don't know how to tell you, so I'm just going to tell you to look. Yeah.
Different ways of storytelling, honestly.
Right. And I feel like modeling, like it really is just a way of storytelling.
For sure.
Yeah. And so I guess another question to you too is like, what are some things that you want people to understand you as, like to be like remembered by? Because I mean, at the end of the day, like whether we want to admit it or not, we are building a legacy.
For sure. I want to be remembered as somebody who like actually tried, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, I think like I said, I enjoy doing things, right? Like the new, like especially creatively. So I want to be remembered as somebody who like pursued that shit and like made a difference to it, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
Tried.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And then like, I don't know, I'll definitely want to be remembered for different things along the way. I think as my goals grow and shit like that, like, you know, maybe one day I'll want to be remembered for having a bigger jet than like Drake or some shit, you know what I'm saying, or something.
It changes.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Everything changes. So I think I want to be remembered as the person who beat change, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Can you say that again?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to be remembered as
the
person who beat change, yo. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that'd be fire.
That's dope. That's dope. And it's like, even again, the word change, like, I think, because I had like a crazy life. And so it's like, I'm still having a crazy life.
Life crazy, yo,
yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. Like, I'm still having a crazy life.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm speaking past tense. But like, I think when you're going from one environment to another environment, people don't realize that changes you to the point where you said you don't even notice it anymore.
Yeah.
That goes into artistry too. Do you ever feel like sometimes your knowledge like surprises you because you're like, wow, I didn't even realize like I knew this like that.
Yeah.
But then, you know, oh shit, I actually know this because I went through all this trauma that like I repressed and now.
Yeah, I mean, I probably do surprise myself, honestly. But like, you know, it's some stuff I feel like you don't notice until you slow down, right? Like we were just talking about like that stillness stuff. Like I'm more aware of it now.
What are good quotes? Period. Yes.
I'm more conscious of like that stillness stuff now, and so I'm probably like going back and like into like my memory banks and shit like that and pulling stuff out.
Right.
And that's cool too. Like I think, I don't say I'm in a rush to learn stuff. So you know what I mean? Like it's cool to take your time and like, you know, learn it the right way.
It's cool to take your time, kids.
Yeah,
it's cool to
you gotta do though.
Time.
You know what I'm saying? Even if you don't want to, like I think I didn't want. I know I didn't want to take my time with anything, right?
Yeah.
But like you get sat down. I've been sat down a bunch of times. You feel me? Life will sit you down quick, and so.
Yeah. Fast.
I'm off the bench now though. I think. You feel me? So. Ready to have fun, yo.
Yeah, and I really love that you said that too, because I think it takes a leader to recognize I need to slow down, because like you said very wisely, like life really will be like, that's so cute, that's so cute that you have that idea, like that's so ambitious of you, like no,
maybe later though,
like
you know what I'm saying?
Maybe never, like no, and so. How did you get to that point where you were like, okay, I'm comfortable with stillness, like I'm comfortable with just me, myself, and my thoughts, like.
I've been putting a lot. I'm an only child, first of all. Let's start there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah. So I'm an only child, and like.
Yeah, like dap up yourself.
Yeah.
Like link
all the
up with
time.
yourself.
You feel me? Exactly. Like that's how I survived, honestly. You feel me? Like, you know, I'm my mother, of course. Like.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? Only child, single parent mother. And
yeah.
Like,
it's intense when you don't have siblings. Like you can't compare notes. They can't like put you onto games.
There's a lot of internal battles. You know what I'm saying? Like mentally, for sure.
Right.
And so with that, like I've also had experience like with like good leaders around me and shit like that, and so I've picked up from that. And then like, you know, like you said, like I think you just kind of, as you go through, like I'm just absorbing stuff. You know what I mean? But as far as like the leaders that I mentioned, they definitely like. I was able to watch, you know what I'm saying, observe. I think I'm a very good observer, you know what I mean? And I think that's what being by myself a lot has allowed me to be, you know what I'm saying? Still observing myself a lot, but.
It's good. It's good to be able to know that about yourself though, because I feel like I've watched really great leaders and I've had the privilege of that, like you were saying, and then I've also watched like, you know, people take like bad routes and I definitely made like bad decisions when I was around those people because I, like you said, like you're not observing yourself and it's
leaders
really,
make bad decisions all the time though.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I've seen it. You know what I mean? And everybody's seen it. And I think like you know, that's how you know who's a good leader, because it's when shit it's like when everything was bad, that's where you're gonna find out who the leader is. You know what I'm saying? Because like you know, anybody can like, you know, walk through this field right here and like tell you where to go, but like once the field's on fire, like how we getting out, you know what I'm saying? That's what it is. And those moments are fun too, but like I also like I've been thrown in those moments though, you know what I'm saying? Like I have a lot of different life experiences that I'm gonna like, you know what I'm saying, show to the world and stuff like that, and you know, in different in very different artistic ways I want to do it though, I think.
Right. And that's really wise what you said. That's really wise what you just said.
Yeah, leaders, we got leaders. There's leaders in all of us, yo. We're leaders Some natural, some we learned. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
But we got
Right.
the skills.
I feel like sometimes I was like a 5-year-old in like a college class, and I was like, I don't have the resources, the tools, like I don't know what's going on, but I'm still being judged as if I started like exactly where all these people started.
Yeah.
But
that happened early with me.
Yeah.
Like I've been in those situations early. Like
Yeah.
I remember when I moved from up here down to Atlanta, like education systems were mad different, right?
Facts.
Like everybody, like, you know, this part of the country is like, you know, this is education, right? You know what I'm saying? You look at the amount of schools we just have in Boston
Yeah.
and stuff like that, right? Resources and stuff. So when I got down there, they was like, yo, you from up north, like, all right, you can handle this, you know what I'm saying? So like they just threw me in like, you know, these very intense classes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then I was like, bro, what is this? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just regular like you, bro.
what's going on?
Yeah, so I think, you know, on that point that you spoke of, sometimes you're gonna have to battle that, you know what I mean? But
yeah. No, but I think what you said too about leaders is really wise, because, you know, everyone can make things look nice, but it's about who do you go to when everything's falling apart.
that's it. No.
And I feel like, you know, something I learned through God was like, sometimes like that's how God prepares you,
Facts.
like through the fire, like
Facts.
when everything is like a complete mess, like that's when God is like, okay, like
Now it's time
this
to
is
work.
when you do your homework.
Yeah.
And I never understood that, because school made me feel like I need to have like a stable environment, like all the lights are on, like everything's perfect. But
Right.
most learning happens when like the world is in turbulence.
Facts. And especially like during like school or whatever, like college at least, when I got there, turbulence was like shaking. Like it was, the plane was going down,
Blender.
right? You know what I'm saying? And I think I definitely got my head about that, kind of like what you're saying. And like, but I think afterwards, like I learned, like, you know, it's gonna be like that, bro. You can't just expect, like, you know what I'm saying, everything to be sweet and stuff. And so like, understandably, I did have some things that were kind of holding me back, but like stuff that I
Yeah.
definitely should have fought through a little harder.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but I think like, you know, I'm happy now that like I know to try harder next time, you feel me, or whatever. So
Yeah, and to give yourself that grace, because I mean, talking about like being an only child, like the hard thing about being an only child, for those who don't know, is like, again, you don't have like references. You don't really have people who are like kind of in your life arena.
Facts.
Who can also be like, well, mom's like crazy, so when she does
Facts.
this, like just
Facts.
like you have to figure that
That is
out on
exactly-
your
yeah.
own, and then you have to react to all these kids who are like making fun of you or laughing or whatever, and you
Yeah.
take it so seriously, but then you realize, oh, like that's just how they
Facts.
like bond, like,
Yeah.
oh, like this is light, like what, like I really cried about this, like. But when you're an only child, like, you take everything very seriously.
Yeah.
Being on your own so much, like how do you feel like that developed into your artistry?
I think it made me, ironically enough, want to be a little bit more collaborative. You know what I'm saying? Just for
Yeah.
learning aspect of things. But
Right.
I think it
Makes
maybe,
you a good team player.
For sure. Some people don't
Which is
agree.
undervalued.
Yeah.
That's very
Some people don't
undervalued.
agree, but like I think it's a good
People don't understand community if they always had community.
facts, right?
Yeah.
And I think aside from the collaborative, you know what I'm saying, side of it, more on like the singular side, like my internal processes,
Yeah.
like those are what I want to put into my music. I want to understand, like I want you to understand that I grew up like this, you know what I'm saying, like, and like this is why I'm like this. So
Yeah.
I definitely think, I mean, you are an only child too, so like,
Yeah.
you know,
The
the
struggle's
thought
real.
process is so different, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, and I definitely get a vibe from you that you're like your own best friend. I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
Like I'm also best friends with myself.
for
like,
sure. Yeah, I'm
we
in
have
my
a lot
corner
of-
a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like I think I'm always there most of the time. But
Yeah. It shows. It definitely shows. 'Cause like I said, like when someone is able to like stand tall on themselves, but you can tell that like they had to always be the one pushing themselves up, like their energy is just a little different.
Yeah. My mother too, though. Like she definitely just always try to like let me, like she's the one that birthed me, right? She knows that I'm an only child. Like
Right.
understands that there's gonna. She didn't grow up an only child, also. You know what I'm saying? So like knowing that like I'm not gonna have the same experience as she was. You know, definitely try to prepare me for that kind of stuff. And so I was always taught to be like headstrong and stuff. So we here now.
Hey.
I'm looking up cause this my moment to speak. The proper cavalry, been eating savagely. They mad at me, work through calories. You got a part of me, I fucked around and left my dish in the sink. Think of Flint when I have trouble finding reason to drink. Calling files from the backyard. The so-called outlaws got outlined. Chalkboard spell white crime. Chinchillas on the inline. If we don't speak again, it'd be a mass crime. Life of PlayStation, gave it mad time. Leave for a shopping spree, start looking for proper peace. We only ever honored from the balconies, and the only time to reach out is from atop the knees. Calling time out so we could slow the speed.
And so, okay, I'm gonna really try to say this title.
Yeah.
It's Madden, Mad Men.
That's the one.
Okay. So when did you drop that in March?
Yes.
Okay.
I kind of took it as like, almost like just a live news report from like inside where I was, you know what I'm saying? And so I just been sitting with myself, obviously, and sitting like where the world was, you know what I'm saying, or where it is, kind of, you feel me? Where it's like a slow creep, we're coming out of there, right? But
so weird.
There's still a lot of shit going on, and like that's wrong, you feel me? And so, kind of just me speaking up on it a little bit, and like also reflecting a bit on like how we got to this point, and like how I got to this point, and then there was a bit of like future tense too, like me looking into. All in like a less than 2 minute span. I tried to kind of do that.
As an artist, do you feel like musically, like what's inspiring you to get more into your art, like as a musician?
One, definitely my friends. They're like,
my
friends make great music. You know, the people around me and like stuff like I said, I didn't imagine me like ever pursuing, you know what I'm saying, music or whatever. But like the more I saw like the effort, you know what I'm saying, and like. The strides that people make, you feel me, and like the connections in life that people make with their music, and how real and like how far music's got me. You know what I'm saying? When I just looked at all that, I was like, yeah, this has to be it. And so, what was the question again? Just to answer it correctly.
Just like, what's it like being a musician for you now?
Right. It's cool, yo. I think
you could take that question so many different ways.
Facts.
Though. Like
I appreciate me being able to create in a new way. You know what I'm saying? And with the music, I think I learned from music a lot as an individual. You know, like music makes me now more than ever, like I'm listening to a lot of older music, you know what I'm saying? I think you kind of got to get out of like your generation of music to kind of understand music, you know what I'm saying? Because it's changed, you feel me? In certain ways. And so the deeper the understanding, the better you can make it, you know what I mean? And that's with anything. So I think that's been my experience, just understanding it better, different ways, learning, and that's it,
I feel like the transition into, wanting to make music is probably overwhelming. Do you have any advice for anybody kind of accepting like, all right, I don't want to just like be the hype man for my friends. Like I have stories to tell too.
For sure. I definitely 100% understand how overwhelming it can be. And for that, I would say, just hopefully you have the right people around you. You know what I'm saying? If you don't, the energy will bring you there eventually, but like, you know what I'm saying, try to get into those right spaces or just around people who like aren't just saying no for no reason. You know what I mean? Like, it's one thing to, we all understand constructive criticism and shit like that, but there's a bunch of people that just like also want to do something and aren't sure about it yet, and they'll just be like, tell you no because they're saying no, you know what I'm saying? So once you understand that, and that like, once you do it the first time, every other time after that is like, will be a cakewalk in comparison, you feel me? Definitely gonna be some learning curves and stuff like that, but I think that's where the fun is at though, you know what I'm saying, especially with art. The learning curve is the fun, and if it's not the fun, then like, you know what I mean? Maybe,
that's a sign.
So.
I like that advice a lot, because I think a lot of times the music industry can just be so cold, and the music scene can be sometimes even colder, because we kind of reject what we fear in ourselves and other people. I think, like when you see someone doing something wrong, you're really seeing yourself if you were up on stage doing something wrong. So you'll come down really hard on that person because it makes you feel superior.
Superior.
How do you feel about like ego and
that's like the word of the century, ain't it?
Facts.
That honestly, personally, I try to take that shit away, yo. You know what I'm saying? I really don't view myself bigger or like larger than anybody in this world and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I am a Gemini, so I would say I'm confident. You feel me? Definitely got my confidence there, but like I try to be, you know, I'm respectful of people and like their energy and shit like that. You feel me? And it's just like, it's the meeting point that always determines like what's next. You know what I'm saying? Of the energy. And so as long as that meeting point doesn't boil over, then I ain't tripping, yo. And then like, you know, I can learn from that. And
yeah. Wow, that was a very So, wow, because I feel like ego can really just, like, when you're in these type of spaces, facts. And I try to tell people what I humbly believe is that, you know, your ego is there to be a shield. The reason I personally believe we have an ego, the reason why I think, you know, God gave us an ego is not for us to, you know, flex and boast and act like we're holier than thou. Like, I feel like the purpose of an ego is when you feel like you can't get up, your ego is going to be like, you're doing well, because it just wants you to keep going. Yeah. It's meant to give you kind of like that support. It's kind of like the friend that you call that's, you know, not a yes man, but always like, I know your truth. Like, I saw you before this, so like tap back into that. But it's not supposed to be an enabler.
Word. I never looked at it like that, but that's a good way to put it. Yeah. Probably just we just end up using it the wrong way, right? You know what I'm saying? Or it ended up using us, I guess, somewhere.
Yeah. And I feel like as artists, and you can obviously tell me if this relates to you, but I feel like we kind of have a responsibility to be there for one another. And so it always makes me sad when I see people compete. Yeah,
competition.
All I need is a bunny to attack me. Yeah. Like, I was so ready. Yeah. Like,
you better hope it's not a snake.
Like, I was like, competition, like, it's presenting itself like in another form.
Bunny is
like,
food.
Who sent you?
And a snake is right after. You know? Yeah, but like, you said so, musician.
Yeah, like, I feel like we're supposed to be there for one another.
Competition on my.
Competition. Yes, the section of my brain.
I
competition.
Remember now. Yeah. I'm saying it because like I've been thinking a lot. I think a lot, yeah.
Facts. You said you're a Gemini.
I think a lot, yeah.
Don't you have like 2? Is that real?
Probably, yeah. He's in there. But like I've been thinking a lot about competition recently because I don't think it wasn't the field of play that I put myself in terms of like creative work.
Yeah.
And I'm understanding though that like people don't respect you until you show them, for lack of better, I could like step on you though. You know what I'm saying? Like with my work, like this can like get big. You know what I mean? Like I can actually do this.
It's unfortunate, but it's true.
And like a part of me respects it. You know what I'm saying? Like I understand because like, you know, there's so many people doing this. Like what's like why am I looking your way instead of this way, right?
Yeah. That's a good way to say it.
Right. And it's just like I think the conflict that we have, especially in a place that like in Boston or like the Northeast where like it's an emerging scene, it's like, all right, why are you competing right now though? You know what I'm saying? Like what are we competing about? You know what I'm saying? Like is it like, oh, if we make it like, you know, I'm gonna do better than you, or like, oh shit, like maybe he's gonna be the one that like pushed the scene to the breaking point and shit like that. And if that's your issue, just like, I mean, I guess if you want to be the one, just like do it though. You know what I mean? I think that like affecting other people's work is, it's not cool, yo. But I mean, it happens regardlessly. Yeah. Regardless. So I don't know. Yeah, I fuck with competition though. I think it's good. Yeah. Like I grew up playing sports and stuff like that. Like you learn from competition.
You seem like you have like a mindset like where you almost take competition as like, that's a good idea. Yeah. Like I'm gonna do it like this though. Yeah. Like I'm gonna turn. Yeah.
I think like it's a switch, yo, because I like to have fun. You know what I'm saying? I think having fun is important, and I think competition is fun. That's what it is. Yeah, that's the answer. Yeah. That's the one.
I like having fun. I think competition is fun.
Facts. Yeah, I just watched this interview. There's a little snippet of Kanye. He was like, "Yo, Kanye, I like dope shit, and I think I'm dope. So like, by default, I fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I fuck with that. I agree."
Yeah, I think I'm learning that competition doesn't need to happen if you don't want it to. You know, like people can try to wage war with you, but it's not until you respond that it's actually like, okay, now it's here.
That's it though. I mean, that's the thing. So I think people are always gonna try to challenge you.
Yeah.
It don't even matter like what it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's a second grade kid somewhere who's getting bullied for his lunch milk. You know what I'm saying? Is he gonna fight back? You know what I mean? And it's like, is the situation like correct for him to fight back? You know what I'm saying? Is it the right time? Yeah. There's all different, you know, it happens at every point of your life, yo.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
ain't
nothing to really sweat. It's just, you know.
You have to choose your battles.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And so I also liked what you were saying about the Boston scene, because like you said, you're not from here, so it's like, from an outsider's perspective, like emerging into it, like what was the transition and did you feel welcomed?
Yeah. Shit happened fast, yo. Obviously, like
change.
We obviously facts. We obviously just lost like 2 years of our life, right? But like I was already pretty deep into this, right, before that happened. So I think one to answer were people receiving and stuff like that? I'd say I think it was I felt
like welcome.
Yeah. But I definitely like was very conscious of my energy though, like when trying to get into these spaces, right? I'm not gonna like be a nigga who's like trying to get in here but like trying to fight you too though. You know what I mean? Like that's like what we were talking about, that the competition. There's a time and place, you know what I'm saying? Like I can't compete in you trying to break down your door though. Like, you know what I'm saying? That shit don't make sense.
Yeah. I'm definitely like not from Boston. Facts, and I always think it's funny because I always like ask people questions about Boston, but it's like, Pauline, like you're not from Boston either. And it's like the transition of like meeting more artists, like people always ask you like, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? But it's like, I wanted to give people the opportunity to say like, but this is who I am though. Cause it's like, I could be this, but like, who are like your soul? Like, who is your soul? Like, what does your soul want to say to us? And so I just wanted to facilitate anything that could give people the opportunity to speak for themselves, because people are always speaking for one another.
For sure.
And it's like, I want people to speak for themselves.
Yeah. No, I think you're doing a great job. I think, man, it's tough for somebody to be vocal, you know? And so some people do need that push out and like, you know, the opportunity, you know what I mean?
Right.
And so some people still won't use it though, but I think like over time, you know, hopefully, you know, people find themselves and like their voice.
Yeah, you seem really like you're very well spoken, and it's like I feel like you're gonna do really well with like people being like, oh, okay, like this is a relatable person. Like I don't need to be like intimidated, and I can like come as who I am. Like
dude,
it's underappreciated though. People don't realize like being that type of person, like that's a leader too, you know?
Yeah. I think I like people to be comfortable like around me, yo. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't that weird shit. If I don't want you to be comfortable around you, you won't. You know what I'm saying? But like at the same time,
the Gemini
facts.
switch.
Like I don't got a problem like setting it off or nothing like that, you feel me? But like at the same time, like, you know, I don't have time for that though. You know what I mean? Like I don't have time to put the energy into it if it's not necessary. Cause then I'm like, and now you got me, you know what I'm saying, in a whole different mental space and like any, you know,
politics.
Exactly.
The politics.
Don't do that. Yeah. Politics is tough, you know.
There is the politics of
everywhere.
Everything, of the scene, of this, of that.
I think people have a misconception of what politics is.
Facts.
I think people like directly associate politics with like government and shit like that.
Yeah.
But like, man, this hood politics getting this by every day, you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
everything is politics.
Yeah.
Everything is politics. And you see that even in the way that people move. There is like the person that, you know, you'd say is like the best at this. And then that, okay, so you're friends with these people. Okay, well, they don't like this person. And it's like, I just want to walk down the street meanwhile.
Facts.
Like,
maybe that's what I want to be known for.
Yeah.
It's like being like the right kind of politician. You know what I mean? Or some shit like that. I like connecting shit. Like I like connecting dots and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I think that's, to go back to another point that you were asking, because now kind of all coming full circle, right? Like,
yay, I love when that happens.
Like, when I came into the scene, I came in with a lot of energy, I think, right?
Yeah.
And I was, like, I started making, like, friends, you know what I'm saying, acquaintances very quick. And, like, I started to realize that, like, you know what I'm saying, a lot of people didn't even know each other, though. You know what I'm saying? Being in the same environment and stuff like that, the college thing, you feel me? Like, I know people who are being artistic in that space but had nothing to do with that Boston space, you feel me? And so, like, you know, being able to be the connector and not the divider for that is, it intrigued me. And I think that's what,
not the divider.
Yeah, it forced me to keep going.
Yeah.
And then, like, and then it happened.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think too, to come full circle on another point, like being on your own, like that would also give you the tools to be able to facilitate conversations with different types of people. And that's why I think it's so important what you were saying about stillness and being at peace with being on your own, because it's like being able to appreciate people doesn't happen if you're always around people and you hate everyone. And that seems obvious, but people underestimate that. Like when I was in New York, like everyone is constantly around people.
New York is a funny place.
You know?
Because I love New York.
Right.
And then I get there and I'm like, oh, I get like why
the switch. Like
I get why you're mad. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But like I'm gonna enjoy it while I'm here though. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But to be there even like 24/7, like that mindset really does become like, can all of you move out of my way actually? Like
it's really
now.
a dog world out there, yo.
Like right. And it's like
literally fighting for space to exist. You know what I'm saying? Like.
But that's really what it is like everywhere. It's just that New York highlights that. And that's what I try to show people. Like we do that no matter where you are. And that goes back to your point of like politics. Like politics happens everywhere. It's just that when you're disconnected from people, you don't actually like see like we're all fighting for space. And so I think it's cool that, you know, you're trying to connect people in a positive way. Like, because some people are not trying to do that. Whatsoever.
Tired of the fighting, yo. We gotta like do some other shit. I don't know.
Right. And we're starting to talk about this. I'm just gonna like full on transition into it. Like, how do you feel like, you know, being Black like affects your artistry? Because being Black comes with so many things and so much responsibility. Like,
so this has been a big transition point for my music, right? I think
it's fire.
Thank you. I understand my role, I think, right? Or I'm understanding my role. You know, watching the world.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. I'm watching the world, and I'm watching like, watching how important music is, and like rap, what it's become, like, you know what I'm saying, or Black music in general.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we really got a way of, you know, presenting issues and like, you know,
kind of saying everything by saying like one word.
And like. Everything coming from like generations behind us, you know what I'm saying? Like I listen to a lot of older music and stuff like that. Like I really fuck with a bunch of artists, yo. Like I was listening to Eddie House coming in here. It's like old, sad, like love music, you know what I'm saying? And you just like, you hear like the tones and shit, like the pain and stuff like that, right? I think it's like the translation is changing, you know what I'm saying? I think we show our pain and like stuff in very different ways, and like, you know, like my man could have like $100,000 chain on, but that chain crying for him, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, and he's letting you know that on the music, you feel me? But it's like we kind of got to get people to pay attention in different ways. And so like I want to present my Blackness more in my music, and just I just been trying to understand how, you know what I'm saying, and like what's gonna work, and like, you know, understand like people want to listen to certain kind of stuff, but like the blending that I was talking about, everybody's doing stuff, but it's all like, you know, it's how you mix the sauce. It's like you got to do it differently. So
I feel like it's so, and this goes back to like how you perceive someone and then like where they're actually at. Because like to me, like listening to like your music, like I feel like you already do a good job at being Black, because you are Black.
Yeah,
like,
facts.
You know what I mean? And I feel like it's interesting that you even talk about that, because it's like that is such a pressure that only Black people have to go through.
Ain't that crazy?
Like
I gotta be Black.
Like the right way to be Black, like how to present your Blackness. Like, am I Black enough? Like, am I talking about the concepts that like I as a Black person should? And it's like no other group of people normally have to go through that as much as Black people.
In that instance, I wish I thought less. Like, I wish I was less of a thinker.
Yeah.
Just because I know I be in my head about a lot of things.
I would definitely say, though, like, just, like, artist to artist, like, just remember that, like, you're doing good. Because it's as an overthinker and as, like, an only child, like, it's very easy to get in your head and to think that you're not you know, doing what you should do. But it's like half the time the things that, you know, you're supposed to do, it's coming from a place of just other people. Other people can really project onto you. Especially artists. Like nobody taints your view more than an artist, because an artist knows how to speak to you in a way that other people don't.
Facts.
And that's not to say don't listen to people, but it is to say like that stillness that you worked hard to achieve, you can always tap back into that. And it's like, never think that there's a right way to be Black. Never think that there's a right way to express yourself when it comes to like your own artistry.
Yeah, there's a right way, like, but like it's your way. You know what I'm saying?
It's the right way
for
like
you.
Transition through you. Like I feel like everything that, you know, people give you, you can try it on, but it's like when you make it yours, like you make it yours.
That's
like
the one, yeah.
I don't know how to dress. I couldn't tell you shit about designers, but like I make it work for me. Like I don't.
And that's when it's fire, yo.
You know, like I don't really have like a style. Like I just am like, oh, I like this, and like I'm gonna add my meaning by believing in myself. And then some person's gonna walk down the street and be like, oh, that's so cool, and I'm gonna be like, thanks.
Yeah.
Because like to them, that's an outfit. Like
but
people
this
don't,
is regular for you. Yeah.
You know, like people don't see what goes into it. Like if you told me you just wrote that song, like, and you weren't even struggling with that, I would have been like, oh wow, okay, like word, like Black culture, like like so I guess too what I'm saying is like, don't like sell yourself short, because it's this world will give you so many opportunities to do that. Like
opportunity, yo. That's all we need, man.
Yeah.
That's all we need, for sure. Thank you.
Yeah, because it's easy. It's easy to get into your head. And I feel like my goal with just everything I do, honestly, is to just like put love into people, because it's fucking free. Like I don't know why people act like
important, yo.
Yeah.
That's all. Like that like love is the deciding factor of like a lot of like success. You know what I'm saying? I think like a lot of success is missed out on because like, you know, the lack of love in whatever you're doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shout out love, y'all. Fuck with love.
Yeah.
It's tough.
That's good.
Free man, cause here we taught me defense. Just to be a Black man, you gotta hold up both hands. Damn, man. Fuck, I'm saying, niggas only doing what they gotta do. Telling them they wrong, but it's never you.